Good day there, once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today guys we're going to have a chat about the Planetside 2 developer livestream that occurred a couple of weeks ago. Now obviously this was a couple of weeks ago, so I'm horrendously behind schedule here. I know, I'm a bad YouTuber, lay it on me. Alright, you guys have had your fun now. Basically guys, I've been a very busy boy as of late. My stock take, the stock take happened at my retail job once again, and it wasn't the smoothest of processes this time around, but university also gave me a very stern hit to the face quite recently, and quite literally actually. If you're in my Discord, then you will, you'll know the backstory behind that one. And yeah, look, the other limited hours that I have in my day have just left me behind schedule on a lot of different video uploads. But here we are. A lot of you guys have been asking about my thoughts on what the developers discussed in, you know, my live stream chats, the comment section of my videos, and my Discord. So I figured, what the hell, we may as well still make a video on it. Now firstly, I want to get this out of the way because out of all the things that have come from this developer live stream, this is the thing that I've been asked about the most. That being Soltech, the new Tokyo-based server coming to the game for the Asian populaces. Am I going to be switching servers? I don't know yet. It depends on how Connery plays when I can play on the server after the new server goes live. Preferably, I would love to stay on the Connery server because I would like to stay on a server that predominantly spoke English, and that's not me being racist or anything, but as someone who plays on an Asian server for a team-based game like World of Warships, it really helps to understand your teammates. Yeah, not racism, just facts there. And if I was being completely honest, the developers need to hurry up and allow for players to just change servers outright, especially for my fellow Briggs players who want a Planetside 2 experience that isn't limited to one 24 to 48 versus 24 to 48 fight in the prime time, and a bunch of ghost capping, but that is a topic for another video. I'm happy that the Asian populace is getting their own server. I have just yet to decide as to whether I'll be swapping it to that server yet. There has been a lot of talk about there being a trial period where Connery characters will be able to play on both servers for a test period if you want to decide on which server they wish to play on for the long term, but that was from a Reddit post, so take that with a pinch of salt. It would be great if that were the case, because then that would give, you know, players of all types an opportunity to check out both servers and see what the gist is. But on top of this, the developers also began discussing things like improvements to performance, which in my opinion is one of the things that limits the game from growing the most. The issues with PS2 is the fact that while it may be a free-to-play game, which is designed to be accessible at best, the performance limits who can actually enjoy the game. So by taking some time to do some performance improvements, the developers are actually making a really good investment time-wise here. The main focus appears to be on the HUD, alert, and vehicle deaths, which based on my own experience is incredibly accurate. The amount of times that I've gone to film cinematics and have noticed a severe frame rate improvement every time I turn off the HUD is insane. So if the developers can eliminate some of the issues that occur from something that is on our game screens all of the time, then I can assume that we're going to see some significant improvements. And again, if we lower the barrier of entry for the game by making, you know, the degree of how powerful your PC should be to run the game, then I think we are making good steps in the right direction. The developers are also working on some more script work on the engine and network side of things to better improve how the game will run. It's all stuff that goes way over my head. I did do game design for a couple semesters way back in the day, but it still goes over my head. But if it brings about good results, then I am all for it. Rel said he was kind of ready to mic drop some of these performance improvements when he's allowed to, which tells me that they have some solutions in place. They just need to actually, you know, bring them to light and into practice. Now next up, there was some discussion surrounding the squads and some improvements in that regard. Fire teams have now been given some work so that now every single squad will be divided up into fire teams by default. Fire teams will now have changeable leaders and their own fire team waypoints. In the long run, developers are also interested in giving squad leaders the ability to create missions with the intention of further incentivizing players to partake in squad gameplay. The concept of mentorship squads will also see some improvements to better flesh out what, in my opinion, has been one of the better ideas regarding new player education in a very long time. So any kind of work on that mechanic is going to help out big time. And to all my experienced players out there who may have a little bit of experience squad leading or are fairly knowledgeable about the mechanics and about how the game works, I urge you to take at least one session to educate some other players by setting up a mentorship squad. The one time that I did it on stream, and it was a superb success. So guys, please make sure you're making use of that feature and yeah, helping out some of our newer players. But then we got to the big one, the one thing that no one was expecting them to announce at all, but the crazy bastards over at Daybreak came out and slammed us with an announcement of Oshur, the 5th continent, that's right, continent, to make an appearance in Planetside 2. Now, let me just get this out of the way and say that if you had told me about 2 months ago that the developers were planning on announcing a brand new continent this year, I would have laughed and told you that I love your optimism. And here we are. Guess who the fool is now? Which means that Planetside 2 is definitely in a better situation than I thought it was from a logistical side of things, if they have the resources to build new continents that intend on adding a new experience with some very interesting gameplay mechanics. Like, this isn't just going to be a new continent, this is going to be a new continent with new features and new mechanics that make it something very interesting and a new addition to the game. And the stuff that the developers have got planned with this continent is really exciting. I think it's safe to say that Oshur, the last continent to be added to the game, sort of had the vision of being a more closed, linear, infantry-focused type of continent, with its heavy overgrowth that limited the effectiveness of aircraft and gave light assaults plenty of ambush positions against enemy armor. Whereas Oshur, while featuring some infantry-focused environments, is going to really bring out some interesting gameplay mechanics to the game in regards to the aerial side of things. So, what is Oshur all about? Well, it's a continent the size of Indar, but instead of being one big landmass, is divided up into smaller sections of small islands. No warp gates exist on this continent, and instead, each faction will have a home base Bastion fleet carrier. Yep, the Bastion fleet carriers are finally getting put to a playable use, with the developers even entertaining the idea of these fleet carriers rotating around the map as the battle for the continent goes on to constantly mix up the flow of battle. Now, the continent will be made up by a collection of environments including crystal forests, lush jungles, hot springs, and large open plains, with there being talk of environmental hazards being thrown into the mix as well, just for some fun. But of course, guys, and this is what really excites me, the main focus of this continent is the air, considering that it will be the only way to actually traverse across the different islands. So, no boats are being added to the game as of yet. They entertained the possibility, but it won't be happening for a very long time yet. This is going to create a much more logistical style of continent that is going to require some serious communication and work in the air, and I think it's going to be safe to say that Galaxy pilots are going to be in high demand on this continent, which in my opinion is awesome. A continent like this gives players who just enjoy being in air taxi some proper meaning and a way to impact the flow of battle like never before. And all of you ESF pilots out there are also going to have significant impacts on this type of continent. So the aerial focus really has me excited. On top of that, there is also some talk of a Skylance battery being placed on the islands that will help in capturing the continent. They can be used to launch orbital strikes and attack the bastions, which will offer a new way to grasp control of the continent. And hey, the game prides itself on scale, so if we're going to be getting a more grand scale event here and there that are just awe-inspiring to witness, then sign me the fuck up. A lot of inspiration is also being taken from Planetside 1 base design for this continent as well, focusing on creating a nice mix of indoor bases for infantry play and outdoor courtyard bases for vehicle use. So we might actually see a lot of vehicular capture points present on this continent. Not to mention that base building is also a strong emphasis here as well. In short, guys, this new continent is one of ambition that is sure to give the game a fresh coat of paint alongside the planned optimizations if the games decide to take the time to flesh it out and make it a continent that provides a unique experience. I remember back in the day when Oshur released, there was a lot of hype surrounding it, but the optimization just wasn't there to allow a lot of players to get in and enjoy the game. The same thing really happened with the construction system. The construction system wasn't as unanimously, enjoyed by the majority of the community, but it created a lot of hype around the game, which drove a lot of traction towards the game. Just unfortunately, there wasn't the optimization there to back it up to allow for a lot of people who were jumping into the game to enjoy it properly. And based on what they've discussed, it looks like they have every intention of making this continent something unique, which is going to drive a lot more traction back to Planetside 2 once again. I just really hope they stick to their guns and flesh out these awesome concepts that they've shared with the community, and in turn optimize the game accordingly to invite all those players, a wide range of players who have a wide range of PCs, to come and enjoy it at a respectable level. Rel has confirmed that he has every intention on keeping the development of the continent transparent and community driven, which I do commend, but I just pray that they take their time with it and get it right. Regardless, it is awesome to see the devs focus on such large projects for the game, as it shows that good things are happening behind closed doors, even though we don't see it all the time. And guys, on that note, that wraps up today's video discussing Oshur and the announcement that was made on the developers live stream. Guys, exciting things are coming to Planetside 2. This has actually got me really excited for the game in the long run. It's really good to see the developers in good standing, creating awesome things for the game. And, it shows that they're not giving up on the game just yet, and they're still focusing on improving on what is one of the largest scale first-person shooters on the market still to this day, and to that, I commend them. Guys, if you enjoyed today's video, then a backhand of that like button would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any hype that you want to share, say, what was your favorite announcement from the developer live stream? What are your anticipations for what are your anticipations for Oshur? Pardon me. And what are you guys most looking forward to in regards to the new continent? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, if you find yourself backhanding that like button and you're also new to the channel, backhand that subscribe button whilst you're at it, and go follow me on Twitch to keep up to date with whenever I go live as we play a wide variety of games. Right now, we are sort of going through Marvel's Spider-Man and thoroughly enjoying it. Once again, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll be seeing you all next time. Take care, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one.